The market opens in 3 minutes. You've been here since 5:15 a.m. 4 monitors, 1 cold coffee, a stack of pitch decks no one cares about. You are 24. You have $110,000 in student debt. Your salary felt like a jackpot until you saw your MD's bonus, so you shut up, run the numbers, and format the slides. You learned to digest a 10K report in 30 minutes. That's just survival. Then one morning, you spot it. A typo in your senior associate's model. A $4.5 million mistake. You just stare. Then you quietly fix it in your own version. You don't tell a soul, because this game doesn't reward Boy Scouts. It rewards ghosts. You pull 15-hour days, sometimes 19. You stop counting weeks. You map out which directors to shadow and which ones to dodge. You're powerless, but you know exactly who holds the keys. You process a $550 million deal from a spreadsheet on the 42nd floor. The client doesn't know you exist. You never step foot in the boardroom. But your math is on that table. Your sweat is in that deck. From way back here, you start seeing the matrix. You are the plumbing, the invisible pipes. The floor empties out. You stare at the skyline. And suddenly, the paycheck isn't the point anymore. Fast forward 3 years. You're in the room. Well, the back room where the junior guys wait. But you made it in. Now you're building the deals. Small stuff, but real. You're writing the terms for a $250 million mezzanine debt facility. You sit across from a CFO. You explain a default scenario without blinking, because you've modeled it 50 times since Tuesday. Preparation is your only weapon. The deal. A leveraged buyout of a massive logistics chain. People will be fired. But you don't model broken homes. Nobody pays you for empathy. You model EBITDA margins, cash sweeps. You present it perfectly. The deal closes. You get your bonus. You block out the factory towns. You tell yourself what everyone tells themselves. I just did the math. Rule 2. Proximity to capital is proximity to power. And power forces you to make choices you hate. You build your own cartel. A VP who throws you a bone. An associate who leaks you intel. It's not friendship. It's mutual survival. Welcome to the machine's inner circle. Now you manage humans, their output, their mistakes, their burnout. 5 analysts, 3 associates. You don't track your hours anymore. Your brain works in deal flow. You run your first solo transaction, an $800 million infrastructure play in South America. Your MD takes the credit on the cover. You are buried on page 4. But inside the room, the client looks right past the MD and asks you the hard questions. That's the VP shift. The safety net is gone. You're the dealer now. You see the dirty gears of high finance. The target company's pension gets gutted post-close. The new fund demands a 25% IRR. Gutting the pension makes the math work. You know exactly what happens to those old folks. You keep your mouth shut. The deal gets signed in 9 weeks. Your year-end bonus is $600,000. You wire $50,000 to your folks. You buy a loft downtown to prove you've made it. You convince yourself the pension was doomed anyway. You might even believe it. Rule 3. VPs don't ask if a deal is good. They ask if it's doable. That's the only metric left. Now you're the rainmaker. You don't just process deals, you hunt them. Clients call your cell, not your boss's. You close 4 deals in 3 years. You never miss a date. You never spill a secret. That kind of vault is rarer than genius. You're managing a $1.5 billion advisory book. You run the pitch as the big dog. Your associate builds the model. Your VP handles the grunt work. You sell the dream. You sell absolute certainty. That's your product. You finally grasp what leverage really is. Not money. Information. You know a mega merger is happening 3 weeks before Bloomberg does. You know a sovereign fund is dumping stock before they hit the sell button. You don't trade on it. That's amateur hour. But knowing it makes you lethal. And then you lose one. Not because your math was wrong, but because you didn't play golf at the right country club. You lose a $3.2 billion mandate over a stupid membership card. You don't rage. You don't whine. You buy your way into 3 clubs the next morning. At the director level, it's never about the spreadsheet. Your phone rings at 4 a.m. now. Unlisted numbers. You hold 15 client relationships. Each one generates between $5 million and $50 million a year for the firm. You aren't an employee anymore. You are the bank's relationship with those billionaires. That's a terrifying shift. You're on the credit committee. An $850 million loan to a dying company. You vote approve. Not because the company will survive, but because pissing off that client will cost you triple. It's corporate politics wearing a finance suit. Your life is airports. Singapore, Geneva, Riyadh. You drink scotch with actual cabinet ministers. Not business lunches. Diplomacy. The relationship is the only asset that matters. Money doesn't chase yield. It chases trust, political favor, and guys who know the regulators. The sweetest deal dies if the right hands don't shake. Your entire soul has molded to the machine. You didn't even notice. 12 partners run this floor. You are one of them. Your name is the franchise. You get a direct cut of the fund's profits. Every major deal has your blood in it. If the fund wins, you buy a yacht. If it tanks, you bleed. Your entire brain gets rewired. You don't care about a Christmas bonus anymore. You care about the 7-year fund life cycle. You think in decades now. You quarterback a $5.1 billion buyout of a European energy grid. 4 months of hell, 5 legal borders, savage bidding wars. You lead the pack. A Middle Eastern royal fund, a Canadian pension scheme. You close it in London. The handshake goes down in a private room that doesn't exist on paper. You route the money through a Luxembourg shell into a Cayman structure. The tax loophole is huge and 100% legal. 2 law firms blessed it. You sign it without a second thought. It bumps the fund's return by 200 basis points. Your personal cut on this one deal will snowball to $55 million. You stop going to parties. Not because you're tired, but because talking to normal people feels pointless. Your universe is only guys who move billions. Like today, 2 calls. One from a Gulf sovereign fund. They have $9 billion burning a hole in their pocket. They want your firm to steer the ship. You're one of just 3 guys they trust. The next call is a minister of finance. You take both calls from a corner office on the 50th floor. No ticking stock tickers, just thick glass and dead silence. You're on the line with people who shift global assets. You aren't playing the market anymore. You are the market. Your mood dictates the price. When you buy, the herd follows. When you sell, analysts panic for a month. You sit on 4 boards. You advise governments on macro debt. You don't lobby. That's a dirty word. You consult. But the outcome is exactly the same. Morals are just theories up here. You never see the collateral damage. You just see the yield. You protect the yield. That's the entire game. Rule 7. You can't look at it from the outside anymore. You are the inside. You don't have a job title, just a name. Senior advisor, chairman of some family office. It all sounds nice, but it's smoke. You own chunks of 5 funds, 2 offshore banks, and a reinsurer in Bermuda. You're 68 years old, 42 years grinding in the machine. You've outlasted the politicians. 3 central bank heads call you by your first name because you trade secrets with them. Your web spans sovereign debt, distressed assets, and currencies across 14 countries. You control over $120 billion. Only 4 guys on Earth know that exact number. You're one of them. You don't react to the market. You front-run reality. 2 years early, you bet against a collapsing currency block. Not to break them, just to catch the pieces when they fall. When it drops, you make a killing. They call you a genius, but nobody warns you about the cold. You trust maybe 8 people. Outside of them, you're entirely alone. You know secrets that would break the news, and no one to whisper them to. You're a load-bearing wall in the system. Tearing you out would collapse the building. It's not about power anymore. It's a lot colder and more absolute than power. A Geneva boardroom. 4 guys. No PowerPoints. You speak for 5 minutes. Total silence. Then you nod, and the world economy shifts a few inches. Right now, in some glass skyscraper, a 24-year-old kid logs into his terminal for the first time. His ID says, First-Year Analyst. It's a tale as old as time. He thinks he's there to get rich. He thinks hard work equals reward. He has no clue what the machine is really hungry for. But he'll learn. The screen flashes green, the bell rings, and the machine keeps eating.